All right, good morning, everybody. We've got a couple of big days, exciting days ahead of us. So I'm going to call the meeting to order, and Mamie, could you please take the roll?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Tom Looney.
Here.
John King.
Here.
Ms. Lisa Eastup. Here. Jeffrey Lang.
Here.
Bill McBrayer.
Right.
Dale McGinnis.
Here.
Mr. Scott Ottman.
Here.
Ms. Sarah West. Present. Have a quorum, sir.
Great, thanks very much. Ms. Carpenter, could you read the ethics statement, please?
Yes, sir. In accordance with the State Government Ethics Act, it is the duty of every member of this committee to avoid both conflicts of interest or the appearance of conflict. Does any member of the committee have any known conflicts of interest or appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before us today? If so, please identify that conflict or appearance of conflict and refrain from any undue participation in the particular matter involved. Nothing else, sir.
All right, seeing none, we'll move forward. Approval of the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda? Second. Mr. Kane, second. Mr. McBrayer, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes have been presented. Are there any changes or questions from our May 14th minutes of the executive committee? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes? Moved. Thank you, McBrayer, second by Dr. McGinnis. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries as well. Okay, let's start out with our progress on search and cards. Tomorrow, the board will make a decision on a recommendation from the search committee. What I want to do is I'll give you a backward look of how we got here. I think it's important to understand this has been a 6-month process. I believe it's been an extremely thoughtful process, collaborative process. And I just wanted to share how we got here, and then we'll move into closed session to actually talk about the recommendation, which the board will approve tomorrow. This is really our path to tomorrow's recommendation. And again, this is where we started. It's hard to believe it was back in November. We had the board meeting. We said we'd identify a transformative leader who can move our system at the speed of business and innovation, leverage the collective strength of our colleges and communities, but the process would also be transparent, collaborative, and focused on results. And I believe once you see final answer and look at how the process was executed, the goal was to put confidence in the process, confidence in the new leader. And I think we've been able to achieve that, but I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Just want to remind everybody, probably one of the most important things that we decided on early on was to have multiple committees to drive collaboration and feedback, so everyone's on the same page. Our presidential search committee managed all the aspects of the search and evaluation process. We coordinated with the search firm, with the search advisory committee, which I'll talk about here in a minute. And our goal was to submit 3 finalists to the state board for approval with one name that will be submitted to the General Assembly. I get a question often, do we provide 3 names to the General Assembly? The answer is no. We provide one name, but we must submit a minimum of 3 finalists to the board. And I want to thank my co-chair, John Kane, from the early days of developing this plan to the calls we made to senior leaders across the state. John has been, we operated arm in arm on this process, and I want to appreciate his leadership and support to enable us to get where we are today. Thank you, John. I also want to thank Chaz Beasley for his service. Chaz has done a fabulous job on our board due to family and work requirements. Chaz was able to participate to the level he wanted to through the process. He has resigned from the board. Treasurer Briner brought a wealth of knowledge to the process. Very politically intuitive, big, strong business sense. And Lisa, how long have you been on the board now? 12 years more?
25.
11. Okay, I was there. So 11 years.
And I are tied.
11. Well, we'll talk about you and Bill here in a few minutes. But Lisa has a lot of institutional history, having really been involved with 5 or 6 presidents. And then Chris Lumsden who bring forth a wealth of knowledge from the Virginia system and the roles he's played in his community in western part of North Carolina. This team has worked incredibly well together. We attempted to over communicate throughout the process. And I couldn't be more proud of the board members who participated on this search committee. And I want to thank you. I mean, a lot of this is easy for me because I live here. John Kane lives here. But the other folks on this list really don't live here. They have to drive in here. They have to participate on Zoom. Most of them drove in for every meeting. So I want to personally thank you for taking the time and commitment to support this important endeavor. The advisory committee was with us every step of the way. They provided incredible external perspective from government, education, and from business. They advised us on needed leadership qualities, statewide priorities, and workforce needs. And the interview process will be finalized on a base pool of candidates that both the search committee and the advisory committee have determined is the right candidate for the role. Chris Chung, I just want to get down the list because I'm going to do this to thank him tomorrow. Chris is a very busy guy, as we all know. Chris not only was very active through the search process, but he even did reference checks for us. So we had him contact people he knows, both in Virginia and in other states, to vet the candidate. Seth Dearman has also been here the entire step of the way. He's also been very helpful. I've stayed very engaged with the governor's office throughout this process. Amanda Lee from the President's Association has participated, I believe, in person in every in-person meeting. Michael Lee, representing the Senate, was also a great sounding board throughout the process. Ward Nye, who's the CEO of Mark Marietta, called me this week and was grateful to be in the process. I just got to make a comment. I'm an avid Wall Street Journal reader. And the day of our last meeting, Mark Marietta made an acquisition for $13.5 billion. So that puts in perspective the kind of people who run the search committee and the encouragement I got from Ward Nye and this team got from Ward Nye throughout the process. I truly valued. Gene Reeves from the Trustees Association has been a huge supporter, played a major role. And then finally, David Willis has been very engaged throughout the process in two-way communications as we manage the process and execute the plan that the board laid out. The search engagement plan started with personal interviews. John and myself, we talked to between 13 and 50 senior leaders across the state to get their perspectives, people who are known and respected from the governor to the both House and Senate, or with really key leaders who have led this state for many years with great insight, like Sharon Decker, and many of them were actually quoted in the profile we developed. The search firm performed a number of personal interviews on the next layer down. There were stakeholder interviews, additional by search firm employees. We had stakeholder questionnaires, and we had a public website and also answer questions. So Nathan, I appreciate your support getting this and rolling all that information up as we develop the profile. And this was the profile. And what we got back from the search firm and the candidates at the why. A lot of people were really impressed with the front cover. They thought that was really something. This was a transformative role. And once the budget was approved, I'll tell you what the candidates that we had were extremely excited. It's almost like a major company doing an acquisition like Ward Nye did. And you're bringing a new CEO now in to execute that major acquisition. As I said, we had people like Gary Salamito. John and I talked to Peter Hans, MC Bell Pylon, and Lee Lilly. These were quotes that they provided, but these are an example of the four individuals that we discussed the search process and how we were going to execute over the last 6 months. And I want to thank everyone who put their name on this process. It made a significant difference. The profile I've talked about. We talked about our state, the opportunity in our state, how we've been the number one state for business. We just slipped to number 2, but I'm sure that's a temporary situation. And if we look at the numbers for our state, we're a growth state. We're in a few states that are growing enrollment. We have a great story to tell. and the leader's charge. I mean, economic development, we hear about workforce development every day on the news and the need for additional workers in key areas like data centers, which is core to a lot of the growth in the economy, as well as tech firms, and then one system leadership to really tie in all our colleges and build a very strong system. And the building, was, I think, a strong statement, our state's commitment on it, the commitment to education and economic development. So a lot of thought went into this profile. It showed in the candidates we were able to identify, and it also demonstrated to the state and all our state leaders that we were serious this time about finding someone who could lead this system for a long period of time and really have transformation and change. The top opportunities we called out was, again, as I just mentioned, transformation, sustainable funding, and win legislative confidence. And again, I think if I have these placards behind me, thank you, Nathan. We have to remind each other. I mean, we've got to celebrate success, and we're going to have them at the board meeting. We finally announced the president. We will have placards up as well as we plan the next event. We've got to start celebrating success more. And this was very hard work. I want to personally thank Alex for being the quarterback on this. It wasn't 6 months of work or a year of work. This was 3+ years of dedicated engagement with the General Assembly. And I had the honor to walk around the General Assembly with Alex here the morning of the vote. And people were kind of staring at us like, what the hell did you guys do? So it was really impactful. It was very exciting. And it gave us an opportunity to thank all those who supported our mission for many years. And what a gift we can get for the next president. I mean, this really ignited our candidates. Aligning our strength in our workforce and employer alignment. I think we've got great opportunities working with Secretary Lilly, Department of Commerce, with Chris. We want to really build strong partnerships with all these organizations. And that starts when we announce the new president. And I'll share with you in a minute our announcement plan as we launch it. We're building trust through transparency and measurable outcomes, particularly on ROI, and we're building a high-performance team here at the system office. Top characteristics we asked for was bias for action with strategic discipline, relationship, and a team builder across everyone who engages with the community college system. And it's hard to find someone that doesn't have a role or benefits from the work that our colleges do every day. They need to be courageous, but a humble decision maker. And, you know, I've heard that a number of times, and it's not a term we use often in business. Again, I think as we identified our candidates, that was one of the characteristics we look for. And as part of that is a passion for the mission, a passion for students, and a passion for our employers. Enterprise thinker and politically savvy is key. And then a charismatic communicator, a real face of the system, who can energize the system office, energize our colleges, and energize our community around the mission of our community college system. There was the timeline I shared with you, and it's actually through April. This was a cut and paste, so somebody asked, why is it May, June? I run out of time, so I couldn't highlight those. But this is the schedule that we shared publicly. We're sharing this information now publicly again. And right now where the star is, we'll begin the approval and onboarding process in between now July and October. So we kept to the plan. I think many folks thought it was an impossible schedule, but with the discipline that we implemented, the quality of the profile and the work of the search firm, we will identify a strong list of candidates. And as I said, we'll talk more about process after our board approves it here in a minute. And again, I apologize. About half our board is sitting here today. You'll hear this again tomorrow, but this is our opportunity to sit here as an executive committee and just remind each other of the work you have done, our board has done in preparation for this announcement. With that, any questions? And now we'll move into closed session and I'll take you through the recommendation, how we arrived at it. And just share the process with you all again, because a lot of time went into it for the people in this room and advisory council. and the executive committee who participated in the final interviews and in the decision. Question?
I have one. We're in the short session. So we pick a final candidate and send it to the General Assembly. If they're not in session, how do they prove it?
Well, they will be coming back in session and we'll explain that in
Okay.
about half hour, once we get
All
through
right.
the answer. Again, we're not looking at what's happening tomorrow. We're planning out the next 90 days, and I'll give you a plan for both the contract, our engagement plan, our announcement plan,
Yes.
the launch of this. Our job doesn't stop once the candidate's identified. My opinion, our job just starts, and we will lay those plans out, sharing those with you as well, Jeff. But it's a very good question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay.
We don't have much time.
What time's the meeting start?
Oh, we're over 11:30. We need to end at 11:30.
It's 10 minutes.
Yep.
All right, no
No
break.
break.
Yeah.
Tom, are you through with this? If you're through, we'll sign off. If you're
Yeah,
through
all
with
right.
us.
Yeah, you're done. Get out of here.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks. Bye.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a bar.
I said
Center
no.
bar.
Milk bar.
Got the bar.
Everybody else.
Sarah, I didn't get it either.
Bar. You city slippers.
Yes.
No, my. We're back in open session.
Okay, before we go to the various committees, you roll the slide up some. Keep going. All right, that's good. What this is when we look at expiring terms, those names in bold are leaving the board or potentially leaving the board at the end of next year. It is a huge term. And next to it, I've got their current assignments. And then at the bottom, what I'm trying to do now is, for example, Lisa is vice chair of policy and governance, and I need to put someone in that role that can learn the job to take it over. Plus, I need someone in the role overall because she's busy as she can be. Same with Bill. Bill, I think I've got John Kane in that one. I talked to John. We probably need to move someone else into that role to see if they're prepared. Same with strategic planning. Someone who will work with Dale permanently. Then we've got to fill both the policy and governance chair and vice chair. So these adjustments in the yellow are to get folks in there that can potentially take over those chair positions, because this is a problem. And the other one that if you look at Sarah, I mean,
Yeah.
Sarah leaves. I mean, all those chairs leave.
Yeah.
And your vice chair's with.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't be there. No, the governor's in. So I think it's important to get a vice chair. Spend a year with.
Right. Who's the vice chair now?
It's Bill.
Me.
Bill, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's one we've got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got him up there for programs. So yeah, see that I've got it identified. If you have some thoughts, if
I do.
you'd like, let me know. Because I'll be making those calls next week to get this all completed. So next month, they're ready to come in and take those roles. But this is a void, and the work has already started to make sure that the 10 replacements are people who can truly come in and have an impact.
Are the, ask a question.
Yeah.
Are the, treasurer and lieutenant governor, are they going away?
They're no longer part of board.
Or they backfill with another?
No,
There'll be
no,
9 House members and 9 Senate.
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
So it'll be 18 and split evenly.
yeah. And then the Luke Farley will stay on and the others roll. And Brian, I think he's probably chairing. I think he told me he's on 22 boards.
Yes.
So he's, and he did the search committee, and he's been a trooper.
Yeah.
But just, again, you talk about it when you put it on paper, it starts looking a little scary, considering a new president and the new funding. We've got to make sure we've got a good leadership team in place.
Have you thought about consolidating some of those committees?
I did when I came into this job. I eliminated, I think, 3, and I added 1, which was the transformation committee. Yeah, we think we're in a good place right now. I don't know one up there that I would eliminate. I mean, Ray Trapp's up there for student government because he's been the student government representative. It's not really a committee.
He's appointments as well.
Yeah.
Raised from 1027.
Correct. That's what I
That's
said.
why
All
it's
those
up.
folks.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, everybody in black, your term is up.
Got it.
Now, I could stay on, but that's TBD. But my term is up as well. It was They kind of tricked me. I thought it was a 4-year term. It turned out being 6, so.
Yeah, we were the last one. Yeah, yeah,
We're 12.
yeah.
You're 12 years?
Yeah, two consecutive. We are definitely done. We are.
Yeah. All right, let's go around the board now, but I just wanted to, I'm gonna show this to the board tomorrow, just so they know. And I've already asked everybody for feedback, so we're trying to align with people's interests and skills. We're not gonna be able to keep everybody happy, but, it'll be better. Okay, let's go over to, anything,
Budget.
all right, budget. We get a budget tomorrow, so that we can do that tomorrow. Let's not talk to budget. Anything else?
May I say
Yes.
something about the budget?
Yeah.
And it really concerns me. And maybe I didn't see it all, but we had a rah-rah and got the best budget in history and all that. And everybody was thanking Alex, and Alex needs to be thanked. So does.
Yeah.
Deanna.
Oh,
I
yes.
didn't hear anybody say Deanna. They all said Alex. No offense. I think you did great.
I agree. I mean, there is a lot. I've said it up front of the board and.
There's a lot of people like Philip and Brian and other folks that we'll thank in the board meeting. But there's a quarterback, and I think we'll bring everybody else into the board meeting tomorrow. I mean,
I know
Deanna's one of them.
they're a team in that little section. She kind of got left out.
I appreciate that. Okay, anything else on finance?
We have 20 items. And I have 16 for governance, so I'm gonna be up there, sorry.
I think the one that's.
Like one, where are you tennis?
Well, we talked about it.
You know, legislative
I think
update
Janelle
right
wanted,
now.
Janelle Brian wants to.
Budget update.
In this session. Just, we have.
Jeff, anything you want to talk about? Want to go around the board, finance? Anything else, Lisa? Need to talk about?
No.
Personnel? Anyone, we want to talk about those, the 3 positions here at all? No?
These are closed session.
Closed session? Programs and student success, Sarah, anything for the team?
Yes, I mean, I felt Lisa, you were gonna set the table for me, so.
Okay, yeah.
Get off the hook, Lisa.
Well, this was just handed to me, fresh off the printer. Senate Bill 558 is now law and requires the state board to adopt policies implementing the new statutory requirements related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. The legislation prohibits community colleges from engaging in certain discriminatory practices, endorsing or compelling belief in specified divisive concepts, and requires annual institutional certification of compliance. Proposed code adoptions will have their first pass review at this month's board meeting and will subsequently receive public comment for 30 days. While the code may not be finalized prior to September 1st, the system office will provide guidance on the reporting requirements to ensure the statutory deadline is met.
And for programs, the system office has begun implementation by reviewing state board policies, statewide curriculum standards, and local degree requirements to identify any changes necessary to comply with the law. Additional implementation guidance to colleges will be provided following the public comment period. While the law places new compliance responsibilities on colleges, it also preserves academic freedom by allowing discussion and instruction on these topics, provided the institution does not endorse the prohibited concepts and otherwise complies with the statute. We just want to get the executive committee advanced in this.
May I ask a question? What is the intent or the goal of eliminating DEI? What was the problem it fixes?
President Trump issued an executive order on January 21st, 2025, to ensure that higher education recipients of federal funds comply with all applicable laws prohibiting illegal discrimination, and that they comply with the decision of the United States Supreme Court and Students for Fair Admissions versus Harvard. Last fiscal year, North Carolina received $2.4 billion in federal funding for public higher education, demonstrating the importance of ensuring that public institutions of higher education remain in compliance with federal regulations to protect education funding. And the General Assembly is committed to ensuring that all North Carolina students enrolled in public institutions of higher education receive a meaningful education based on academic excellence, critical thinking, and the free exchange of ideas. The new law requires the state board to adopt a policy on diversity, equity, and inclusion at community colleges that complies with the new statute. The statute focuses on prohibiting two areas: discriminatory practice and divisive concept. That's the context. And I know you're a context person, which I appreciate.
Okay,
All right, Dale, anything strategic planning?
Yes, sir.
I think we're gonna need your help, as I mentioned, on contract, on elements that we need to incorporate into it. And then transformation committee. But tell them when you were at the iPads this week,
Well, we'll talk about that
tomorrow.
Yeah, no, today. In my.
Oh, in your committee meeting. Okay, great. Okay, I have a motion. Any other topics before we close here at 11:30?
Make motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, Mr. Alvin, all in favor?